All right, thank you all for your time and attention. I appreciate you all listening to everything we have to say. I am endorsed by the sheriffs of Seminole and Brevard and also the state attorney, and I'm supported by a number of lawyers on both sides of the aisle. And I think that's because I bring to work every day a commitment to fairness and to treating all litigants and lawyers with respect, patience, and dignity. I run a courtroom that starts on time, it ends on time, but all with the opportunity for everybody to be heard and to have access to the court. So I am very proud to serve the citizens of this circuit as your circuit judge, and it means so much to me to be personally involved as part of the judiciary in this great nation that has given so many opportunities to my family. I'm so happy that my son is growing up in this wonderful community, and I hope that you will see that I am the most qualified and experienced candidate with both knowledge and temperament, and that you will vote to keep me as your circuit judge.
I am Adam Pollock, and I want to earn your vote to be the next circuit judge on August 28th. Thank you, fellow League of Women Voters members and our moderator, Sylvia McLean, for today's event. Also, thank you, Jacqueline. Without your love and support, this pursuit of my dream would not be possible. Today's forum is important on multiple levels. Of our elected officials, judges are often the least known and understood. I have tried to provide some insight for you about who I am and why I am running to be your next circuit judge. There are approximately 106,000 lawyers in the Florida bar. Of those, 431 of them are board certified like myself in criminal trial work. I am sure that decisions will not be easy to make. I can imagine being confronted with situations that will challenge me and my core beliefs. I will be vigilant to recognize my own bias and not allow that to influence my decisions that have to be made. I will be a loyal and faithful servant to the Constitution, and I will be a loyal and faithful servant to you, the voters of 18th Circuit. Thank you.
I wouldn't want this event to end without extending my thanks to the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this forum. It's been a wonderful event, professionally put on as we expected, and so thank you very much. I'm kind of a optimistic kind of guy. I see the seat of judgment as something that should be occupied by the most eminently qualified people we can find. I hold the judiciary in the highest esteem. Having served in the as a member of the executive branch when I was a commissioned officer, I learned what the executive branch was all about, and having served in Washington, D.C., I got to see what the legislative branch was all about. But the judiciary was always kind of a mystery, and I've always held it kind of sacrosanct because of the role it plays in upholding the rule of law, and even so high as determining what acts of the legislature are constitutional or not. That the judicial power is great, and it should be wielded by people that the citizens trust, even at the county and circuit level. So I hope that you've gotten a good sense of what we're all about today, and determine who's best suited to earn your trust in the role of judge. Thank you very much for your time and attention today.
If you want to find out what kind of person I am, I would like for you to drive down 434 today and go down to Costco. I worked there for 9 years. More importantly, I worked in the tire shop for 6 of those years. And I went to law school because I got tired of working in the tire shop. But go there today and sit there for a minute and watch those people work in that tire shop. Do it at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the sun is starting to set and that floor is so hot you can barely touch it. Did that for years. I used to come home from work, fall asleep on the floor, then take a shower and study. And I made pretty good grades because I got into law school. That's the kind of man I am. And that's the kind of work ethic I have. And I've never done this for money. I worked at the state attorney's office until I had about $14,000 in credit card debt because I couldn't even make it to the end of the month. And I went into private practice. and I had made money. And I made money, and I helped out a lot of people, but I was so thankful for the job at the Public Defender's Office so I could do my job without having to charge anyone. And I love it. And if I don't win this race, just know one thing. I'm going to stay at the job that I love. So I just want to serve this community and do the best job that I can for everyone. And please go to Costco. I'm not saying to buy tires there today or anything like that. I don't get any money from them. I don't know any style. But go down there and you'll get to see what kind of person I really am. Thank you.
All right, it's always hardest going last. But always, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters. It's been an honor to be here talking to you. It's been an honor of mine to serve the citizens of Seminole County for the last 5.5 years. It's been echoed here many times. I love nothing more than talking to pro se litigants and helping them understand the system. I've always said most people don't want to cheat the system. They don't want to leg up in the system. They just want to understand what's happening to them right then and there. Whether it be a criminal case, whether it be a civil case, I think that judges misunderstand their role sometimes, because although we're not allowed to advise people, we're not allowed to be their lawyers, we can educate them as to the system, we can let them know what the system is, and we can tell them the process that's happening to them, and I think that's very important. All of these gentlemen, myself included, we come from wonderful backgrounds. Wayne just talked about his. I did the same thing. I mean, I worked at a convenience store in the middle of the night to go to school. So I understand the discipline, the hard work it takes to get there. Mr. Shackelford was in the military for 20 years. That can't be said anything but honorable. I mean, who doesn't honor somebody who's been in the military for 20 years? So we've all come from great backgrounds. We've all worked hard to get here. And I think that one thing that's important is just, I understand there's information out there. I would love for all of you to judge me based on what I've done as a judge, how I've been as a judge, what I believe in, and not judge me for past mistakes that I made as a candidate. Thank you.
The candidates for the information they provided, the time, I think that they all provided you lots of information to think about. And again, it's August 28th is the election, and I'm sure that they would want to answer any questions that anybody later after the event ends. Thank you for participating. Thank you, League of Women Voters.
Thank you, Sylvia. You did a fantastic job, and we really appreciate the time. And we very much appreciate all of the judicial candidates' time as well. We apologize for the fact that we couldn't answer a lot of the questions that were posed. And what I would encourage you to do is to probably come to our next top topics on August 23rd. Currently, our plan is to invite people running for the state house districts that serve Seminole County. And many of the questions you asked are really more legislative in nature because they all have to be impartial and follow the law. So if the law is screwed up, you gotta look at the legislature. I'm not running for anything anytime soon. Okay, we have several upcoming events as well. On Monday evening at Cork and Olive at 5 o'clock, Cork and Olive is located in Lake Mary. We're going to have sort of a speed dating concept where we're going to have a soil and water candidate seated at tables for 8 and let people go around to each candidate to take the measure of the soil and water candidates, and we will have some questions prepared for people who may not know what they would want to ask, and we'll give them a chance to introduce themselves as well. Tuesday night, busy week, at the Science Center, the League of Women Voters of Florida from 6:30 to 8:15 is holding a forum for congressional candidates from Congressional Districts 7, 9, and 11. And that's going to be moderated by Scott Maxwell. And again, that's the Science Center, 6:30 to 8:15. And then on Wednesday evening, we, the League of Women Voters of Seminole County, are holding our school board forum, which we're very excited about. That's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30 at the Educational Support Center on Lake Mary. So hopefully you all heard me. You can write these dates down on your calendars.
Go to our website.
Go to our website. So lots going on. And we'll be sticking around for a few minutes if you have any questions for me or for our voter services team. Yes, Deanna.
And also, August 1st, we partner with the PTA to do the school board candidates.
Right, the school board thing from the league is also partnering with the SCC PTA. And you can RSVP on our website if you haven't already. And this helps us because we like to have it, even though it's a free event, we really like to know how many people we can expect. Yes.
Can I make a comment that the library is not going to be privatized?
Right. I don't know if any of you saw, but apparently the move to privatize the library has ended. I actually saw something in writing about that as well. So stay tuned, but that's our impression at the current time. Are there any other announcements before we move on to our 50-50? Okay. I'm sorry.
Can we get them to stand up so we can take a picture of all of them?
You want the judicial candidates to stand up?
Yes, that would be great. Yes, we want them all standing up. It'd be best to go
While they're standing there looking nice, all of these candidates who answered our 5-question questionnaire have their answers up, not only on our Facebook page, but also on our website. So we had packets on the table, but if you did not have a chance to review them, you can, at your leisure, download them from our website or Facebook.
Thank you. Okay, are we ready to see who feels lucky here for the 50-50? Yes.